When you look at this season that's about to unfold, knowing that you stand now as a reigning, defending NBA champion, what kind of impact do you believe that's going to have on your life moving forward compared to anything that you experienced prior to winning the championship?
I can feel it's definitely changes, for sure. I think that, being able to etch your name in stone among some of the greats, one for winning the championship here in the city of Boston, but also being able to win Eastern Conference Finals MVP and then
Mm-hmm.
follow it up with Finals MVP. Like that's
Right.
it hasn't been done, those two, but even to be in the midst of like some of the legends that came before is awesome. But the way my brain is designed, like I honestly I don't really think about it. Uh, like I see stuff that's in front of me, and the way my brain works is you got a task in front of you. Your job is to do your work.
Mm-hmm.
So
But what
last
task
season,
is in front of you?
the
Because you didn't get selected to the All NBA defensive team. A lot of people felt you deserved it. I felt you deserved it. I definitely had you as on an All NBA team. I definitely had you third team All NBA. I'm letting you know that. Right. That's when I was on the air saying I put you on the damn team. I don't know why. I don't see 15 players in the NBA better than you. When you talk about how highly motivated you are, and is it just about the work, or is there something a little extra right now because of what you feel you were denied?
a little bit of both, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and people who are close to me know, like, I'm always looking for some. I'm always looking for a chip that just adds to the fire. I don't need much,
Mm.
but that gave me plenty, and I think that's what also helped my team be able to get to the championship and eventually win it. But going into this season, like last year is over.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like after this ring ceremony that we have in a couple of days, like you gotta put it behind you. In a sense, nobody care. None of these young dudes is caring. They watch me, they watched us, and they want that for themselves. So I already know what's to come, and you gotta fight that comfort. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to come out swinging.
What was it like for you watching Jayson Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday come home with a gold medal on the team you felt you should have been on?
It was great. Honestly, it was awesome. Like I was super happy for those guys. It's a great honor to be able to represent your country. So I was elated. I was having a great summer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I wanted to elaborate to the unnamed source is that like man, I had a blast. Like I was traveling the world, enjoying myself, watching those guys do their thing, and that only makes our team have more union. Those three
Mm-hmm.
guys being able to spend more time
Mm-hmm.
together, get to play with some of the greatest players in the world, to be able to be around that union of KD, Steph Curry, and LeBron James, which was like in this era of basketball, is like one of the best things you could watch. Man, it was great. I watched every game. I supported with no bias. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what happened prior. I didn't take it personal because I've accepted already what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that allowed me to cheer my teammates on.
How would you describe your relationship with Jayson Tatum?
Uh, Me and him have a championship level relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think that together we've been here for a long time and we've had to listen to any and everything for the longest. That we couldn't play together, that things should be broken up. We wasn't leaders, and we were close every single year, like right there, right there, right there, every single year. And we viewed it as like just stay the course, while everybody else viewed it as blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the receipts, but the way
6 conference finals appearances for you, 5 conference finals appearances for him, 2 NBA finals appearances for you both, and now a championship.
absolutely, I mean, before, I mean that says in itself. But that wasn't the rhetoric. Going into the playoffs this year, that wasn't the rhetoric going into the season last year. But obviously, that rhetoric has changed. But I'm one thing about it, it's going to change again. There's going to be some point again if it's not working or whatever is not. We win or lose a couple games in a row, it'll be back. The commentators, everything will be back, and that's just the normal cycle of everything. And you got to embrace that as well.
Right.
Yeah, so I understand how things work, and Jayson, we've been able to build a bond. We've been able to create an environment that we wanted to see, and we've been able to grow together as human beings, as individuals. And when you win a championship, man, that's special.
So considering that bond, and I just got a few more questions before I let you go. Considering that bond, I am appreciative of the greatness of Steve Kerr and how he's a 4-time champion, won 6 NBA finals. All his coaching credentials are not to be questioned. But I looked at that man bench Jayson Tatum for 2 games. I saw one game where he reportedly walked up to Jayson Tatum before tip-off and told him, I'm going to have a hard time finding minutes for you. I don't understand. Maybe it's just me. Yes, maybe it's just me. Somebody that plays in the league, that plays with this man as a teammate all of these years, what was that like? And could you fathom any explanation how you, as any coach, can look at a guy like Jayson Tatum and say, beforehand, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find minutes for you in a 40-minute contest?
No, for sure. I'm biased when answering this, by the way, totally.
Sure.
But Jayson, I think he handled it extremely well. Like that just says a lot about JT's character. But I know he was pissed. No, for sure. I remember texting him and being like, I'm mad for you. Like I know what
I was mad
get it.
for him.
Like JT, I know how he carries himself and how, you know what I mean? So I know like that feeling. But I thought he handled it well. I thought he handled it with class, if anything. I know how.
How would you have handled it?
I would have handled it probably the same way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No different. I think that's just, our character kind of exudes outwardly who we are inwardly. And JT, even though I know he probably felt that internally and that feeling, like he was able to control his emotions and still handle business, and he'll add to winning and be a part of a great group that won his 2nd gold medal. And now it's an afterthought.
The brother's a first-team All-NBA over the last 3 years. He just finished averaging nearly 27 points per game, and even you, with your greatness, plays the role of a number 2 offensive option a lot of times because obviously he's the number 1 option in most situations. What can we expect from him this year based off of what he experienced this past summer?
First, I would say, I hate the number 1, number 2 option thing. I think this game is played at any given point. I'm the number 1, depending on the night. Or he's the number 1, depending on depending on how the defense is scheming, depending on how teams go about,
Well, what I would say in response to that is that is totally accurate. We're you and Jayson Tatum. But most teams, there's a clear number 1 and a number 2 option. But that doesn't exist on Boston because of you. Because you and Jayson Tatum right there. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but I think it's a team game, man. I think our organization, our coaches, and our teammates allow us to be who we are, and I think Joe does a great job of putting us in our spot. So
Joe Mazzulla's done a hell of a job.
Yeah, man, it's been great to be a part of it. Like I've got to witness a lot of JT's growth. He's got to witness my growth, and there's nothing wrong with being a part of a team. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, trying to do something bigger than yourself and playing a role in that. I've never had an issue with that.
Last couple of questions.